Autonomic nervous system affects the function or the activity of the heart. In this video, I am going to tell you how the autonomic nervous system affects the activity of the heart and what is the molecular mechanism behind it. Hey everyone, welcome back to HM Learnings. I am Harshita, the creator of HM Learnings, where students come to clear their concept and to get the study material. Make sure that you have subscribed my channel. You can also follow HM Learnings on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And now we are going to begin our today's video, that is the autonomic nervous system effects on the heart and its molecular mechanism. So in this video, we are going to talk about the sympathetic stimulation and how it affects the heart. But in the upcoming video, we are going to talk about that is the part 2, we are going to talk about the parasympathetic system. So to understand this video, you need to have the background knowledge, and for that background knowledge we have videos, like we have a video on the cardiac action potential on the in the cardiomyocytes, as well as cardiac action potential in the pacemaker cells. And apart from this, you should also watch the ANS videos, and in that videos I had described the structure of the autonomic nervous system as well as the functions of the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So that video plus the videos on the cardiac action potential can actually give you the background to understand the importance of this topic and to understand the importance of having a video on it. So the autonomic nervous system modulates the cardiac function. That means it can alter the cardiac function. It can either increase the cardiac function, or it can decrease the cardiac function. So if you have watched the video on the properties of the cardiac muscle, in that I have talked about the properties of the cardiac muscle and about the automaticity, that heart has a property of automaticity and it doesn't need any innervation to operate. But the autonomic nervous system can actually modulate that cardiac activity, and how it modulates, that's the question. So it can modulate the cardiac action potential by actually bringing the changes in different phases of cardiac action potential. And the different phases of cardiac action potential are because of the different ion channels. So in the video of the cardiac action potential, I already explained every phase of the cardiac action potential, the current which is responsible for those cardiac action potential and the ion channels responsible for those current. So that's why the ion channels lead to different phases of cardiac action potential, which leads to the cardiac function. So autonomic nervous system wants to change the cardiac function. For that, it will going to change the functional properties of the ion channels so that the conductance or the open probability of the channel will get changed, which is going to bring about the change in the cardiac action potential. So that is why the autonomic nervous system is actually modulating the cardiac action potential. And we are going to see first that how the sympathetic stimulation is going to bring about the modulation in the cardiac action potential via its action on the cardiac ion channels. So the effect of the sympathetic stimulation is as follows. We have positive chronotropic effect. That means when there is sympathetic stimulation, there is going to increase in the heart rate. Positive bromotropic effect, that is the fast conduction, the conduction velocity, the time or the speed of the impulse to travel from one cell to the another cell is actually increased in the case of the sympathetic stimulation. There will be shortening of the action potential. Why? Because you want the heart rate to get increased. For that, the number of the beats per minute needs to be increased, and for that, the duration of an action potential needs to be reduced so that more number of action potential can come in 1 minute. Then you have the inotropic effect. That means there is increase in the contractility, that is the positive inotropic effect. And positive lusotropic effect means that there is increase in the rate of the relaxation. So if you are going to increase the rate of relaxation, that means again that is going to contribute in shortening the duration of the action potential. So this is actually showing you these effects, how these effects looks like action potential, the sarcoplasmic calcium concentration and the contraction. So you can see that the black line is actually showing the baseline and the red is basically after the sympathetic stimulation. So you can see that one impulse is coming, but on the sympathetic stimulation, what has happened? Two pulses, two action potentials are coming. That means there is increase in the number of the action potentials per minute, that is increase in the heart rate. So how it is does so is that it is actually reducing the rate of, it is actually increasing the rate of the repolarization. So you can see that this phase is actually a rapid. Okay, there is rapid decline in the membrane potential in this phase, which is showing that the rate of the repolarization is increasing. And apart from this, you can see that there is a dome shape change in the plateau phase is actually shifted up. That is, there is an increase in the calcium influx. So that is going to show in the increase in the concentration of the sarcoplasmic calcium, and you know that the force of the contraction of the muscle is directly proportional to the sarcoplasmic concentration of the calcium. So if there is more calcium, the force of the contraction will be increased as compared to the baseline. And as you've seen that the duration of the action potential is reduced and the rate of the repolarization is actually rapid. So what is happening, that the rate at which the muscle is relaxing is also reducing. That is a positive lusiotropic effect. So now we can see that what is the molecular mechanism behind this thing. So the molecular mechanism is actually the neurotransmitters, through the help of their secondary messengers, and through the help of their effectors, they are acting on the ion channels and affecting their open probability or affecting their conductance. So what is happening, that the noradrenaline is going to bind to the beta-1 receptor, which is actually a G-protein coupled receptor coupled to the G unit, which is G protein, which is having 3 subunits. Okay, so one of the subunit on binding of the ligand to this receptor leads to the dissociation of the alpha and the beta gamma subunit. So the alpha subunit is actually diffusing into the membrane and binding to the adenyl cyclase, which is going to increase the activity of the adenyl cyclase. So adenyl cyclase is going to convert the ATP into the cyclic AMP, and now the cyclic AMP has a direct effect because the SCN channel, they have the cyclic AMP binding site. So cyclic AMP is going to bind to that, which is going to increase the time for which the channel is open, a number of the channels which being open. So there is increase in the channels which are being open, which is going to increase the current from the SCN channel. So if there is increase in the current, what is going to happen, that the slope of the phase 4 is actually increased. So the slope of the phase 4 is increased. That is going to increase the number of the action potentials you can see in 1 minute, because the time which is taken from the resting membrane potential to reach to the threshold level is actually reduced because of the increase in the current. Okay, so again I am saying, if you haven't watched the video on the SCN channel on the cardiac action potential in the pacemaker cells, watch it. Only then the purpose of watching this video is fulfilled. Then cyclic AMP has an effect on the protein kinase A also. So that is going to cause a phosphorylation of certain channels, which is going to again increase their conductance. They increase their open probability. The number of channels which are being open is actually increased. So in that case, it is increase in the calcium influx. So more the calcium enters inside the cell, the dome-shaped plateau, and you can have a more force of the contraction. That is the positive inotropic effect. So there is positive chronotropic effect, positive inotropic effect, and the rate of the repolarization is also increased because of the phosphorylation of the delayed rectifier potassium channel. That is going to increase the conductance to this channel, which is going to increase the repolarization, and there is the rate of the repolarization is increased, which is going to bring about the relaxation of the muscle very fast. And you're having, or there is decrease in the duration of the action potential, and apart from this, you're having the positive lusiotropic effect, that is rate of the relaxation of the muscle is increased. That is actually bring about by action of the protein kinase A on the protein called as a phospholamban. So phospholamban, when it is get phosphorylated, it leads to the dissociation or the inhibitory effect of the phospholamban on the sarcoplasmic reticulum, endoplasmic reticulum calcium ATPase, which has a function of pumping the calcium inside the sarcoplasmic reticulum, is actually decreased. So the inhibition is decreased, and that is why more calcium can enter from the sarcoplasm to the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So when the sympathetic stimulation is happening, protein kinase A is going to cause a phosphorylation of phospholamban, which is going to actually lead to the loss of the inhibitory effect of this phospholamban protein on this calcium pump, which is actually increasing the activity of this calcium pump. So the rate at which the calcium is being pumped back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum is actually increased, which is going to increase the rate of the muscle relaxation, leading to the lusiotropic effect, positive lusiotropic effect. So the sympathetic stimulation has positive inotropic effect, positive lusotropic effect, positive inotropic effect, and the action potential duration is decreased. And apart from this, the amount of the current which is entering with the help of the voltage gated sodium channel is also increased, which is going to increase the conduction capacity. That is a positive bromotropic effect. So I hope that you are clear with the molecular mechanism. Please watch the background videos to get the background knowledge to understand this topic. In part 2, we are going to talk about the effectable parasympathetic stimulation on the cardiac action potential. So if you like this video, please like, share and comment. Please subscribe to our channel. Any suggestions for the upcoming video, please write down in the comment section. Till then, keep learning.